If you feel like you're technically alive, but not really here, like you're moving through days on autopilot, getting things done but not actually feeling them, there's a reason for that. And it's not because you're broken, depressed, lazy, or losing yourself. If you want the full reset that actually brings people back online, I broke it down step by step in the guide. But even without that, this explanation alone usually hits people in a way nothing else ever has, because it finally explains why this state feels so strange and so hard to shake. The truth is, this isn't you disappearing. It's your nervous system doing exactly what it learned to do to keep you functioning. Here's what's actually going on. For a long time, months, sometimes years, your system has been under constant low-grade pressure. Not panic, not full-blown crisis, just never fully off. Always managing something. Always tracking what's next. Always holding things together. Even when you rest, part of you stays alert. Your body adapts to that by shifting into a mode that's very efficient, very stable, and very dull. It keeps you moving, but it turns the volume down on everything that isn't strictly necessary. That's why this state doesn't feel like sadness. It feels like distance. Like you're watching your own life instead of being inside it. Emotions flatten out, motivation feels unreliable, so joy doesn't disappear. It just gets quieter and harder to access. And because there's no obvious breakdown, you start blaming yourself. You tell yourself you should be more grateful, more disciplined, more motivated, even though the problem isn't effort. The problem is that your system doesn't feel safe enough to spend energy on feeling alive. This is the part most people never hear. Feeling present costs energy. Feeling excited costs energy. Even feeling connected costs energy. And when your nervous system has been running in protection mode for too long, it stops offering those states automatically. Not as punishment, not as failure, as conservation. It's basically saying, we can survive like this, so let's not risk more. Sleep plays a massive role here, but not in the way people think. You might sleep enough hours, you might even sleep through the night, but if your system never fully shuts down, sleep becomes maintenance instead of restoration. You're unconscious, but your nervous system stays on duty. So every morning you wake up technically functional, but internally unchanged. That numb, hollow feeling isn't you losing yourself. It's you never fully recharging. Over time, this becomes your new normal. You forget what it felt like to wake up clear, to feel interest naturally, to have energy that isn't forced or borrowed from caffeine and adrenaline. You don't feel terrible, but you don't feel good either. You just exist. And that's why this state is so dangerous. Not because it hurts, but because it convinces you this is just how life is now. The mistake most people make is trying to think their way out of it. They chase motivation. They try to snap out of it. They add pressure. They look for meaning or mindset shifts. But the system that shut this down doesn't respond to mental effort. It responds to safety and recovery. Until your body learns that it doesn't have to stay guarded all the time, it won't let you fully back online. When people actually start resetting this, and this is something I see over and over, the change isn't dramatic at first. It's subtle. They notice music feels a little louder, food tastes better, conversations feel less draining, mornings feel slightly lighter, and then one day they realize, oh, this is what being here feels like. Not hyped, not euphoric, just present. That's the shift. You don't force yourself to feel alive. You remove the conditions that made your system shut that feeling down in the first place. This is why I keep saying this isn't a motivation problem, a personality issue, or a character flaw. You're not dead inside, you're conserving. And once your nervous system learns it's safe to stop protecting you from life, that sense of being alive doesn't need to be chased. It comes back on its own. If this description feels uncomfortably accurate, that's not random. It usually means your system has been carrying more than it should for a long time. I laid out the full reset process in the guide. Not hacks, not hype, just the actual steps that teach your body how to stand down again. Because when it does, you don't just survive your days anymore. You start feeling like you're actually living them.